So a lot to process there, but we move on. The next speaker is Emin Aliyev, who is Global Digital Executive and Chief Business Development Officer at Evido. It's a recognized ASP within the Meta ecosystem. And I just found out ASP is, I think, Application Service Provider. Is that right? Something like that. You can, okay. Emin has 25 years of expertise in digital transformation and corporate innovation. His vast experience spans across several continents of project and people management in regions such as the US, Europe, and West Asia. Emin's speech is entitled AI and the Amplification of Human Essence in Business. Emin, over to you. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emin, and I think yes, it's working. And I've been in the digital industry for 25 years, and I believe that today is the most exciting time in my living memory of technology. We have gotten this amazing prism of ChatGPT and Bard and all the other generative AI services. I don't know if you can see this here, but through this particular prism, right, these are all the parking signs, and the question is, it's 4 p.m., can I park in this spot, right? And you feed this picture to ChatGPT now, which has gotten eyes, and it says, yes, you can park for 1 hour. That's it, right? I wish everything in life could have such simple questions. So we've got this prism, some of us using it to do things faster, some of us using it to do things better, but all of us are using it to take back time, right? And also to become better at what we are. And what we must understand is that today we are dealing with the most advanced version of generative AI, and at the same time, it will never be as dumb as it is today, right? So I was asked to talk about the human essence in business, how AI helps to bring that out. And the future of business is human. We all want love, most of all things internally in different ways or forms. And there are some businesses that give us that love. I don't know about the governments, but there is always a better way to do that. So that connection that AI helps unpack for businesses in the coming decade is something very big. It will change a lot of things, business models, the way we interact with businesses, and this is what I want to talk about. Now, I must make a confession. This is the only text in the whole presentation, the only slide where I used the help of AI to actually write it, just to perfect it a little bit. And by the way, there is going to be one picture in the whole presentation that was generated by DALL-E 3, like the latest. So one picture coming up. I wonder, yeah, there is a little bit, AI gave itself up that it did it. I wonder who is going to be able to point it out when we get to it. Okay. All right, so to talk about the business, I have taken the liberty to choose the 3 main touch points where I believe businesses connect the most or have the most impact on humans. One is customer service, the other marketing, the third is product development. Now, we're at the Futuristic Conference. Numbers usually are not required, but there are some numbers that I want to highlight associated with that. So for the customer service, companies spent between 5 and 15% of their costs and budgets to allocate to that, 10 to 30% for marketing, 15 to 35% for product development. This is for 2020s, and this is for software and SaaS companies. I have taken that sector for simplicity, right? So it has been said that the goal of any business is to balance the financial interests of its shareholders with the needs of its customers, right? So ideally, if we want AI to help businesses, it should be able to optimize both sides, right? Make the shareholders happy and make the customers happy. So let's start with AI-enhanced customer service for humans. This is what's happening this year, right? So this is the chatbots. There is a bunch of different startups and companies, the existing companies that are integrating that. They come in all shades, right, and languages now. And Gartner predicts that by the end of this year, the early adopters will be able to cut customer service costs by 30%, right? So that's already happening. This is good. This is old news, right? But this is the interesting graphic from Greylock, one of the investment firms in the Valley. And what they're saying, look, we are somewhere here today at this inflection point where companies of all sizes just starting to bring up the customer expectations at fractions of the cost to the shareholders' expectations, right? So we automate to save money with chatbots. We're in a reactive mode still. And this is everywhere, right? I have lived for 3 years in Poland trying to deal with banks as an expat who doesn't speak Polish. It can be painful. Same with the airlines in the US, by the way. It's everywhere. I just moved to another country in the region, and I'm talking to the banks, to the CEO of local banks, and they say, look, we have this voice channel, and we're trying to keep people there for longer, hoping that they will go to online and somehow try to solve the questions that they have. So this is kind of making the customer experience worse. That's not human, right? So they're here. But this wave of automation here will start to save them money. But the ultimate goal, the holy grail of the customer service is actually to move from not loved cost center, like 5 to 15% are the costs, to the profit center, where they can actually do upsales for people, right? So turn it into the sales channel. And I believe that for that, a few things have to change, starting with the KPIs, because right now it's about requests and per hour, per rep, etc., to something more human in terms of technology, like this.
Hey guys, it's Billy. I just want to introduce myself. I am here to chat whenever you want. Message me for any advice. I am ready to talk, and I hope to talk to you soon.
Was she real? Okay, so we can still tell, right? Until some point, we will still be able to tell that that was not a real person. But the idea is this. If we can get deep personalization, meaning if I want to talk to a girl or a guy who sold me the shirt, I can choose, right? I can choose the accent, because I would believe, or some people would believe, that they can better relate with people with the same accent or from the same origins, right? I can choose what we want to talk about and actually have that person sell me the shirt yesterday. I come to the conference, and tomorrow she would call me proactively and ask, how did it go? Did you get any wrinkles? Did you get any compliments on your shirt, right? So that's the customer service that most companies cannot afford today unless you're buying a very expensive watch or something like that. The margins are not there, but this is what's coming up next, and that's what will allow them to upsell me the shirts, to have that relationship, to upsell me the shirts and everything, or anything else going forward. So that is kind of the revolution, because it takes us from reactive customer service only when we have problems to proactive if we allow companies to get closer to us with something meaningful. There's a bunch of companies working on pieces on that. The customer service, actually, customer support is right here. But if you do a Google search, there's a lot more. This is Sequoia, who put this map together, and actually that map is a living document. It keeps changing, right? I'm sure by the end of the year there will be more names here. So that was the first peak, right? The customer support. The second I want to talk about is marketing. I've been in digital marketing for most part of my career, and it's amazing how it changed from internet, web, mobile, social, and everything else. And it's about to change again in a very deep, profound way, changing everything that's been before.
Hello you guys, it's Coco here, and I'm going to be doing a quick little get ready with me. Make sure if you have any questions about products that I use or any tips and tricks,
so we can still
to
tell
comment
that's not
or
the real
message
person,
me,
right?
and I will give you as much explanation as I can. If you want to recreate this look, always like to have at least a...
So that was not real, okay? And for some time we will be able to tell the difference. But that is a taste of what is coming, and it started already. If you watched Meta Connect 3 or 4 weeks ago, Mark said that they're introducing this celebrity-based chatbot characters that can be your new best friends now, right? And that is because there is an overall move in the social media industry from when it was Facebook first, people were talking to people, and then it was celebrities, and most of the attention span was at the celebrities. And then the algorithms of TikTok came in and Instagram followed, where the content is always mixed. So sometimes it's celebrities, sometimes it's your friends, sometimes it's people you don't know, but it's something interesting. But we're moving to the next point now, where the content based on your personal preferences and what the social networks know about you, or a platform like a marketplace, you will be able to talk to someone who understands you very well, has empathy, and all of that stuff, right? So when that happens, every celebrity pretty much has something to sell to you, whether that's their personal brand or it's, I don't know, a cookbook or something, right? So the next logical shift is actually, and this is, we're at the conference called Masters in Robots. So not just humans can be masters who have their own robots, right? The brands can also be masters, and they will have their own marketing robots, and that robot will try to become your new best friend. There is a conference that Wall Street Journal will be hosting soon. They just announced it a couple of days ago, and the headliners at the conference are Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI, so the guy who knows most about the language models and everything. Chris Cox, the CTO of Meta, so this is the biggest platform in reach. And the third person is Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I'm sure that if Arnold Schwarzenegger wanted to get digital immortality, right, and talk to us forever about how to get fit and what supplements to take and everything, so he would be a perfect marketing robot for a lot of different brands, right? And then it's whoever pays most money. So they will better understand you and all of that. And that takes us back a little bit to today's monetization models of marketing. I used to run a local regional office for Criteo, which is a retargeting company. So you look for anything online, for shoes or something, and then they go after you and show you these banners. So I'm guilty of managing part of the business in this region for about 5 years. And the way Criteo works, you see something online, right? And then they match you based on they find you on a website, New York Times, and they, based on 120 different characteristics, they decide to show you something from Farfetch. But they actually sell your cookie to Farfetch. They sell you, and Farfetch is the highest bidder. So the way the chain now works, right, the value chain, you pay to Farfetch, Farfetch pays to Criteo, Criteo pays to New York Times, right? So there is place for everyone in that ecosystem. Now imagine a different way of doing this, right? Let's say the day tomorrow brands get their own robots, but the day after tomorrow we also get a robot, right? Bill Gates said, I think in May, that whoever makes the best personal agent, the AI assistant first, will actually hit the jackpot, right? Because you don't have to go to Amazon anymore. Criteo will not see you, all of these companies, right? You just tell your friendly AI assistant, hey, I need new shoes, you know my preferences, you have seen my selfies, so you know the style I'm wearing, go find it for me. And it will go to Amazon and Allegro and 10 other websites. So what happens to the marketing budgets and processes that all of these companies have then? What happens to the sales department, right? Because they don't get to choose anymore what they want to sell you. Your AI assistant does. And by the way, no one notices anything, huh? So this was the picture created by AI, DALL-E 3, and you can tell it because they made the human look like one of these dummy dolls in car crash tests. I think they're trying to tell us something there. And one foot, no, yeah, and one left foot, and then you can't see the other, right? Okay, I was just trying to see if you're paying attention. But it's a... Anyway, so that changes completely the business models because humans will have robot assistants, brands will have robot assistants, and if you want to break through to humans here, the rational versus emotional part, so everything emotional you should still be able to sell as content, as entertainment. Everything that's rational will be more and more outsourced to the robots, so you won't be able to sell it. All right, we have 3.5 minutes left to talk about the last thing, which is product development. And this is very important because people are trying to get products right. This is the project that I used to work on in the US. This is circa 2006, Equinox Fitness Clubs, the very old and elite, I don't know, fitness clubs chain in the US. And I was a project manager, and we had to bring up the whole brand new, beautiful website with tons of features that would complement everything that was happening offline. And the time to market for that was 12 to 8 months. And the price tag, I was at the digital agency, the price tag was $1.5 million. That's what people used to pay for websites in 2000s, right? And I just want to highlight one part of the process that we went through. First, we had spent 3 to 4 weeks preparing, and then for a day running with 12 people, half from the agency, half from the client. This persona workshop, I'm sure you know what it is. You create imaginary people who would be users of your product. So this was like for people who would be using the website, who are already going to the fitness club. And then you would spend another 4 to 6 weeks with the same or more people in the room doing sticky notes, actually imagining what kind of features they would need online and how they would go through the website, right? And what the website would look like. And then the prioritization workshop where you meet with the senior management, and it's a matrix, so can organization ready for this or that, or is it feasible for the clients, right? So that whole process was about 12 weeks. And the time to market, again, was 12 to 8 months, and the costs were huge. And that was the normal way, this was the most advanced way of doing things back in 2006. Now, this is an example of what I'm working on right now. I'm actually a co-founder in this startup, and it tries to blend the fintech and the social media in one app for the bank users of certain banks in MENA region, right? So we're trying, and the time to market for something like this is now 5 to 20 weeks, at least for the base set of features, because this is what we do. Okay, we need personas. We need to understand who would be the users, so we just go to ChatGPT, literally, and put in the prompt, I'm a co-founder, blah, 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 and we need Generation Z living in the MENA region to be our users. Give us 10 users. And by the way, we iterate, so it's not just 10, it can be another 10 and another 10 to have a diverse set, but this is just the example, right? So we ask ChatGPT to do this, and it gives us like 10 different users all within that age group, within that geography and everything. And so that's our persona workshop, basically, right? It takes, I don't know, a few hours to get that right, or what we believe is right. And then for the next one, what we do is we say, okay, now we have top 3 features. We want to have seamless transactions so people can send, instead of likes, like the birthday gift, $100 of Netflix stock, right, to each other within that app. And we want to have that banner that says, hey, this brand wants your attention, it's willing to pay you $2 or $10. Do you want to click on that and watch that? That's the only advertising, right? And we have that. And then there's a third feature there. So like there's 3 different features. Yeah, the third one is for influencers. So there are 3 different features, and we're asking the system to rate that, like it went up, but basically that's the idea, right? So this is our features workshop, and we can ask personas to give us more features, right? So that's it. And then there's prioritization, and that's how you ship it. And then the last thing I wanted to show you is what I believe is coming next, the Sims environment. OpenAI invested into a Sims-like or Minecraft-like platform recently to create probably one of these worlds. But basically, in the next 2 to 3 years, you should be able to just take your product, rent your personas, they will be very human-looking like, give them the features of what you want to create as the new product, and just do it. And they will give you the good size, the bad size, the non-standard uses of your products, and all of that stuff. So that's pretty much it. Something I wanted to conclude with, this is quite obvious. Today, it doesn't matter where you're a billionaire or an office manager or a taxi driver, you have the access to more or less the same set of hardware for your phone and for your computer. It doesn't matter, right? It just varies. And that's a huge breakthrough. We didn't have that like 15, 20 years ago. Within the next decade, pretty much all of us will have access to compassion, kindness, understanding, and all of the other things, thanks to the AI, on average, that only maybe some wealthy people can afford right now. And that's a great thing for humanity, and this is what we should expect from businesses and hopefully the governments. That's all. Time is up. Thank you so much. If you want to connect,